Yo! Oh yeah, it's been a minute since I did a video like this, but yeah, so today, actually, I want to sit down and discuss the meme that actually that has some substance to it, Kagurabachi. Now, this manga launched about a month and a half ago, maybe around 2 months ago, and all that anyone knew about it was that like the main character was like guy with the sword and he looked cool. It was just this pose, like you know the meme that I'm talking about, like where it's literally just him looking at the camera, just like that one, like that one. Obviously, it's a lot of funny stuff with it, you know. Like I think my favorite one out of that entire debacle was the one with Sonic and Excalibur from the Black Knight. That was probably my favorite. But going into this, I really didn't expect a whole lot. Obviously, we know Shonen Jump launches a whole bunch of different manga, and some get the axe. I mean, I think it's like 40 to 30 get axed like a year or something like that. Like not a lot of anime. Excuse me, not a lot of manga gets adapted properly, and you know there's scheduling issues and all this kind of stuff. So going into it, a lot of people was like didn't really expect it to be all that, you know what I mean? But actually, I just caught up tonight, and it's some gas. It's actually some pressure. So one thing that I actually did not like originally was the art style, but actually it grew on me slowly, because like when there's no like real like serious scenes and some things are more light or kind of like exposition and stuff like that, it's very simplistic, it's very basic, right? But then when we go to like these choreographed heavy manga panels and all that, the art style is fantastic. I love the author's use of perspective in this. There's a bunch of shots where Chihiro, the main character, where he's like in front of somebody and the way his coat goes up looks sick. It looks raw. Like they make the sword fighting look so lethal in this manga. I keep wanting to say show because I primarily talk about manga and anime, but they make the sword fights look so good and they like it look so clean and raw. One of my favorite things actually is the use of gore. Granted, there is some stuff in here, but it's not like an overabundance. It's not just like this heaping mass of blood, guts, and whatever have you. It's tasteful, right? There's a chapter where they're trying to interrogate somebody, and then like he has this like self-destruct thing in him, and it just looks disgusting. It just looks like so painful and like wretched and horrible. You know what I mean? I think the author does a really good job. Now, I've read all of Chainsaw Man Part 1, a little bit of Part 2, and obviously gore is a huge part of Chainsaw Man as well as the monster design. Some of the biggest things that come from that series. But after a while, the gore in Chainsaw Man, you really get just desensitized to it. I mean, the main character's ability is chainsaw, you know what I mean? There's gonna be blood, guts, and everywhere. But with here, it feels a lot more tactful because you're not seeing that all the time. When you're actually seeing it, you're like, oh, it's kind of serious. I do like the character of Chihiro. He's a badass, right? He's stone cold, but also he has this very heartwarming and caring side, but not in like I don't want to say in an effeminate way. That's not what I'm going for, but more in like a caring big brother kind of role. You know what I mean? Him kind of taking over this with Char. I like that. His character is not, you know, one dimensional. It's not just revenge for my father's death, revenge for my father's death. But no, he's actually a human being with emotions. He's like, this kid's lost. I gotta do something. You know what I mean? Not groundbreaking, you know what I mean? But I like him. I like seeing him interact with other characters, especially because he's like, I can just like hear the voice actor for him just be like super monotone. Maybe not like Mashal from Mashal or whatever, but maybe it's Mash, I think is his name. Yeah, Mash. But maybe like not like that kind of monotone, not like Saitama, a little monotone, but very dry. He's very, very dry. He doesn't like make a lot of jokes or anything. He did when he was younger, but like now, like he just like says stuff and then like his face is just like dead, like just deadpan. I really like it. But the action is so good. It's actually so good. This past chapter, the chapter 9, was actually really good. The antagonist for this upcoming arc, Sojo, I believe his name is. He's not sticking out to me a whole bunch. I think one of the biggest things is that like he's like, oh, I love I don't think he knows that this is Chihiro's father, but he's like, hey, this guy that like made these swords, I loved him. I like studied everything and all this stuff. And he's like, why do you hold your sword? Why do you have your sword and why do you wield it? And then Chihiro is like to protect the weak and to harm any evildoers or whatever it is, and like pretty basic protagonist stuff that we come to expect at this point. And the guy's like, man, nah, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. This is used for mass murder, or like this is used for like weapons of slaughter. You know what I'm saying? And then Chihiro like becomes a lightning rod and takes damage. It's interesting because and I'll get to the power system in a second. Chihiro, his red didn't take the ownership, like, because I was afraid that the red, like, moving ownership of the ability was gonna be like, oh, there's gonna be this get out of jail free card, he's not gonna take damage or whatever like that. But no, actually, like, he for whatever reason, he's still new, right? And he still only has like a couple of abilities in his power set. Obviously, we know he's going to get exponentially stronger. I would not be surprised if the one he has is the strongest one. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I love it. I love the Goldfish. I don't know why, right? Now, it's like, again, we've seen dragons and we've seen all sorts of mythical creatures as far as like things coming out of swords and all that. Like, oh, it's gonna be so epic. But like seeing something like a goldfish, like a koi fish or something like that, that's interesting, right? It's simple, but it almost speaks volume because it's more elegant, right? We typically think of dragons, we think of like ferocity and straight power, right? Just decimation. But we think of a goldfish, they're typically tiny, right? And they're kind of flighty. And so when we see this like thing start floating around a sword, I feel like that's even more intimidating. That speaks more like skill and stuff like that. So very cool, very, very, very cool. There's a lot of shots in here actually that some people are starting to reference. I think people are starting to catch on because the posing and is actually pretty good as well. There's that scene where Chihiro, he's checking out his sword, and I've seen some people draw some stuff over that. I think someone drew Super Saiyan Trunks like looking at the future sword because it was like something from Dokkan, I believe. But overall, man, very, very good. I'm actually pleasantly surprised by Kagurabachi, man. As far as the power system goes, I'm still perplexed. We still have all these different swords, and they all do different things. You know what I mean? The abilities and sorcerers, I mean, like, yeah, cool. I mean, we've seen sorcerers and magic and other stuff, but I like it so far. I like what I like what they're doing. Chihiro's sword, it has a slash or whatever. It has a speed. It looks like it's like a small like teleport to like a small speed boost or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. He has the invincibility with red, which is like a power trade or whatever, or power shift of ownership. And I think he has one more thing. Sorry, I think it's like electricity. Yes, it's electricity. As far as the other characters go, the one chick that like works in the store, she's fine. No, I'm pretty indifferent on her. Char's cute, right? Interesting to see where her abilities will take her. Is she gonna take more of like a support role? Is she gonna be more of like a plot device, which I really hope they would not do, but I mean, anything's possible, right? There's the mentor, older guy that was friends with Chihiro's dad. I don't remember his name, the young guy. I couldn't place how old he was. That's the one thing about the art style. It's kind of hard to tell how old people are, because that guy just looks like he's like mid to early 20s. Like he looks like he's around Chihiro's age if it wasn't for the height thing. But yeah, just story of revenge. I'm curious to see where it'll take us. Obviously, I feel like we're gonna have some really, really good fights. We've had like 3-4 fights. It's only been 9 chapters, which is actually pretty good. So I don't know. I hope this actually does not get canceled, man. I'm actually really having a good time. So yeah, obviously go read Kagurabachi, man. It's a good time. I'm having a good time reading it. I'm probably gonna keep up with it, man. I mean, hey, listen. Apparently, it's doing really well in the U.S. and in Japan, not so much. But I don't know. I hope it catches on in Japan. I don't know. It'd be a real shame if it were to not catch on, man. I think there'd be some real issues, man. And it's interesting because the art style, I think, would lend itself very much to an anime adaptation. And like it's nothing like super detailed like a My Hero, right? Like My Hero animators have gone on record saying that, like, dude, Hirotoshi's art style or Hirokoshi's art style is so fucking hard to draw with like a lot of these keyframes and stuff like that. Like, it's just ridiculous because it's so in depth and so complicated and so detailed. When you go to something like this art style would definitely lend itself to animation a lot better. I feel like for casual audiences like that, they watch anime but not like everything under the sun. I feel like that this would kind of be easy, right? It's a revenge story. Guy with the sword's cool. Let's jump into it. You know what I mean? I think there's a lot of money that could be made off of this, man. If they play their cards right, if the author, you know, keeps the momentum up, I think we're gonna witness some generational greatness. So I'm gonna be real with you. I see the vision. Mark my words. Mark my word. You know what? Mark my words. On this day, on November 14th at 4 a.m. when I'm recording this, Kagurabachi within 2 years gonna get announced for anime adaptation, and it's gonna go crazy on the internet. I'm promising you, it's gonna be better than Undead Unluck. It's gonna be better than Sabaki Bisco. It's gonna be better than Hell's Paradise. I'm telling you, just wait on it. Wait, just wait on it. I promise you. Oh, but anyway, man, it's Big Boy Daffy, guys. Thank you guys for joining me on this video. Yeah, just a short little glazing session for a little manga I'm reading. I might do some more as far as, you know, me reading some like more upcoming mangas and stuff like that. I might catch up on Sakamoto Days. I've heard it's pretty good. I've heard a lot of good things about it. No anime adaptation yet, but we'll see. I might catch up on that. But yeah, it's Big Boy Daffy, guys. Thank you guys for joining me on this video. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Y'all make sure you take care of yourselves and have a good one. Peace.